of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. We thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedules to join us this evening. As always, we provide our audience with content that is educational, inspirational, and motivational. We have an exciting show for you tonight, so wherever you are, grab a seat, get yourself comfortable, gather your family, and enjoy. Let me start by introducing my guests, hosts, my brothers, my friends, my partners in righteousness. First, my brother. He's an entrepreneur, business owner, a supreme waste management, a consultant, a mentor, educator, a father, and so much more. He's not on right now, but he'll be on in a few minutes. He's running a little behind, but it's my brother Jackie Muhammad. Let's bring him on with a strong Jock Brothers round of applause. Second, my brother, he's a real estate agent and consultant, a mentor, a father, a soldier, and so much more. My brother, let's bring him on with a strong brother, Jock Brothers round of applause. Our brother, Brother Muhammad.
Praise be to Allah. You must love me, brother. Praise be. Thank y'all again for tuning in to another episode of the Jock Brothers Presents Let Us Make Man. Excited today. Brother Ahmed been talking about this show for a long time. And we got some guys on here today that's really just going to electrify us with some of the things they do in the community and their passion mostly. I get motivated by things of that nature. So I welcome our brothers and I look forward to the show. But for those of you that have been supporting the Jock Brothers from day one, that's been consistently supporting the Jock Brothers week in and week out, man, we thank you. We appreciate the support you give us each and every week, the well wishes, the attaboys, just the love we get every week from you and in this endeavor and podcast. So we thank you for that. And for those that have ever donated to the Jock Brothers platform, these words cannot express how much we appreciate that, because you not only support us in your viewership, but you support us financially. So thank you for that. And we ask that you continuously support the Jock Brothers in that endeavor. We have a Cash App rolling at the bottom of the screen. You can donate to the Jock Brothers platform. It's through our Cash App, $ Jock Bros. Again, it's $ Jock Bros. It's $ JAKQBROS. As you know, the Jock Brothers has a prison initiative. It took us a minute to get it going, but now it's full steam ahead. That initiative is we put the Final Call newspaper, the baddest paper on the planet, to our brothers and sisters behind bars around the country. Our goal is to send the Final Call newspaper to 1,000 of our brothers that's locked up so they can get the truth, the uninterrupted, unadulterated truth from the baddest newspaper anywhere, Final Call newspaper. We ask that you donate to that platform and continue to donate to that platform. To get the newspaper behind bars for 30 days is $18. That's a small price for the much they would get to have the Final Call newspaper behind bars. And of course, if you want to send a 6-month subscription, it's $30. And if you want to send a 1-year subscription of the Final Call newspaper behind bars to our brothers and sisters, it's a $60 donation. And of course, I don't know 1,000 people that's locked up. I don't think Ahmed, myself, or anybody on the panel today know 1,000 inmates, 1,000 brothers and sisters that's in jail. So it's very important that if you know of anybody that's in jail that desires the Final Call newspaper, please give us that information on our email address, jockbrothersviewers@gmail.com, and it's at the bottom of the screen. jockbrothersviewers@gmail.com. It's been told that when you're on the streets and you get a Final Call newspaper, that paper may hit the hands of 7 people, 7 brothers and sisters. But when you behind bars and that Final Call hit your hands, we have been told it could hit the hands of as many as 30 inmates. So just think about it. One newspaper, one Final Call newspaper behind bars, and it reaching the hands of 30 individuals. They get a chance to get the teachings of the most honorable Elijahmuhammad, as demonstrated by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. That ain't nothing but blessings coming your way. So please support that endeavor. That's what I got for you. Let's get ready for the show. Thank you, Brother Ahmed.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Okay, let's get it started. Let's get started. And I don't know, Carl. I may know 1,000. I mean, I'm from a neighborhood, brother. You know, I mean, and I know people in a lot of different cities, but the black man is under attack, man, and we get incarcerated in numbers. So if I wrote it down, I might know a few. Maybe might lead up to 1,000. Who knows? But that's neither here nor there.
Yes, sir.
Let's get started with the show. We have exciting guests for you tonight, and I feel secure. Because these men we have on that you see on the screen right now, my brothers, they are dedicated, educated black men of wisdom and strength. They make us all feel secure. We have Allah, and we have the black man who is God with us. I'm going to first introduce our first brother. He has his bachelor's degree in psychology and criminal justice, master's of business administration, doctrine of business. He's an author, life coach, a national trainer. He has 25 years of community and leadership development experience. He serves as an executive director and operational manager for the YMCA and as director of Atlanta Technical College Institute for Males. He is the founder and CEO of Manly Deeds Incorporated, an organization that provides secondary preparation, personal and professional development skills for boys and men of color. He is also the president of H.M. Carter and Associates, a company that offers consulting, workshop seminars, and public speaking. The company serves and provides their clients with the knowledge and skills necessary to improve their work, performance, and communication abilities. Man, I have the awesome pleasure to introduce to you my brother, my friend, my mentor, Dr. Henry M. Carter.
That's right.
Beloved brothers, I am so excited to have the opportunity to be on here with your viewing audience. I greet both of you all in the language of peace and paradise by saying Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, sir.
You know, it's always great to have opportunity for men to come together. The scriptures tell us is, behold, how good and great it is for men to come together in unity. And as we come in this peril time to talk about how can we help the least, the lost, and the left out, I'm always excited to have the opportunity to speak on that subject, to do my part in helping move our people forward out of the darkness that they have been placed in by a wicked enemy. And now we have the opportunity to give them the light of the truth and our experience, our exposure, and our education.
That's right, brother.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate having you on. And thank you so much for accepting our invitation.
Sir.
Yes, sir. Brother Mark.
Yes.
Okay. Next, we have our brother Mark D Mohammed. We've been trying to get him on the show for a while. I mean, we had to pull some major strings. We had to call in some favors, from high places. We really had to go all out to get this black man in on this show. He is a Chicago native, executive director, leader, facilitator of Let Us Make Man Foundation Incorporated. He obtained his bachelor's degree in social work youth advocacy, and has over 17 years experience of helping at-risk youth navigating through their challenges of adverse environments and encounters. Let that play on you for a second. He has an uncanny approach and connection that captures the mind and hearts of the youth and has a deep-rooted passion and commitment to making our youth successful. Let Us Make Man has charters in Memphis, Tennessee, Mississippi, and Atlanta.
Wow.
I mean, we like to thank this brother for
Wow.
moving and shaking in all these cities and finally bringing this awesome program to the youth in Atlanta. I mean, with no more further ado, please, let's welcome our brother, my friend, my brother, also another mentor of mine, Brother D Mohammed.
Greetings, greetings, greetings. In the name of Allah, the beneficent and mercy. I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and that Muhammad is his messenger. I'm very humbled and grateful and honored to be a part of this show.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, brother.
Praise be to Allah. We thank you again for accepting our invitation. I mean, as we get into the show, we're going to show more of your program, all your great works, inspiration that you are giving to our young men and young women. And we thank you for accepting our invitation. So let's get started.
Well, hold on, Ak, man. You know, Mark D said that so eloquent, man. You know, when I first met this brother, man, I thought he wanted to fight me, brother. Now he talking all sophisticated. That's what's up, brother.
Well, that's called the duality of God. Of course, as we get in the show, that other brother gonna come on out. Al D's is gonna come out.
Oh yes.
But right now, this is Mark D Mohammed, executive director of the Let Us Make Man Foundation.
Yes,
and
sir.
as we go on, these will pop out every now and then.
Okay, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we're gonna start. Brother Dr. Henry, your program, and then we'll go to you, Brother Mark.
Yes, sir. Because I'm trying to fix this other issue.
Yes, sir. Your program. Could you just give us a little before we get into your program? I'm sorry. Could we just get a little history on what led you to getting into this kind of work of dealing with our youth and mentorship of our people?
Well, you know, brother, all of us know someone or have experienced absentee dad situation. My mother was a single mom. I grew up in Chicago and didn't have the father figure there. And of course, like many young men who grew up in a single family household, you want to contribute and help your mother because you see her going through so much financial challenges. And I found myself being involved in entrepreneurship at a young age to help out.
Okay.
But I also found myself being involved in being disruptive in school and going through many challenges of watching my mother struggle and deal with some other issues that she was dealing with. And a teacher named Mr. Finley took a group of 12 of us and took us under his arm to be a mentor and took us to Northwest football games and out to eat pizza and mentored us, which put us on a paradigm shift to become better young men. And that touched me so deeply that this man who had no reason other than he had a pure of heart to take us under his wing. And I said that whenever I get into the position, I too want to give back like that. And of course, in the journey of my life, I was blessed to come in contact with the teachings of the most honorable Elijahmuhammad, as taught to us by the Honorable Minister Farrakhan when I was in college back in 1988. And that further deepened my commitment to help the least, the lost, and the left out of our people, to make as many of our people realize the greatness that they have within them. And I started my journey to begin to formalize and create a system that would allow us to help as many young men as possible to plug into something that would make them better fathers, better husbands, better sons, and better involved in the community. And so my career in the YMCA afforded me a platform to have the resources to increase what I had experienced in the nation and what I had experienced in my life. And I began to develop programs, Boys to Men, Call to Manhood program that we collaborated with the county, and then went on to develop my own mentoring program called Manly D's Inc. that focuses on helping young men to get into college, the world of work, and entrepreneurship.
Praise be to Allah. Praise be to Allah. Brother Mark?
Problem.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we was just trying to get an idea of how and what motivated you to get into this work of mentoring youth and dealing with mentoring our people.
But actually, I got into this field through happenstance. A sister that had a mentoring program, I guess she had been observing how I dealt with the youth. And she said, "Has you ever thought about speaking to the youth?" You know me, I speak to the youth every day. What are you talking about? You know, that's what I do. And she says, "No, on a larger scale, a group on that time." I said, "Well, no." She said, "Well, I'd like to invite you to come speak to the youth for a weekend at this camp." So, of course, I did it. It's actually on my website. And from that point to this point, that's when I felt the indwelling spirit of what I was sent here to do, why I was born, what fulfills me, what gives me purpose.
Right. Come on.
Praise be to Allah. Well, let's talk about what the psychology of dealing with our young people. Is that something that you develop along the way? Starting with you, brother Dr. Carter, is that something that you develop along the way when you're dealing with these youth, or do you go out and study? Because I read a book. My son was 2 years old, and they were talking about terrible twos, and I just never liked the sound of that. And I went and read a book on what we should be expecting from 2-year-olds at the time. And it was amazing me. I was amazed on the actions that a 2-year-old takes. And we look at them as, oh, they're being bad, but they're learning their environment. And we call them terrible twos. And just a word I didn't like. So then I started to begin to study the psychology of our people and what we should expect them. I know every child is different, but kind of a barometer of what we should expect at different ages in development in children's life. Is that something that you learn along the way, or do you go out and study that?
Well, there's an art and science to raising and developing children. Only thing that's holding our children back is our inability or inhibitions to expose them to things that would make them great. Children are born with the ability to comprehend knowledge very quickly. And only time I see a child not developing is when you have a parent that's not developed. And so we have, the psychology of our children, as you mentioned, brother, is based on what they see. We learn, Brother Ahmed, through what we see, what we hear, what we read, and who we associate with.
Right.
And we have to understand the power of the eye gate and the ear gate. What we allow our children to see, what is in the environment of a child? What do they see on the walls at home? What are they watching when they see their parents interact? What do they see when they see people come into your home? All of this begins to have an impact on the psychology of the child. Even the colors of the paint at your home.
Come on, brother.
Have an impact on the psychology of the color. Certain colors produce certain behaviors that we either position in them to have greatness, or we're creating a victim of arrested development by what we have on the walls, the paint, the pictures. And then what are they hearing around the house? Are they hearing positive conversation, positive things on the radio? Are they hearing positive things from the television? These things begin to develop their thought processes.
Right.
Now, what they're reading, people say, well, they can't read, but are we reading to them? Because that begins to put stuff in their subconscious and conscious mind. Are we reading the scriptures to them? Are we reading various schools of thoughts and philosophy to them? And of course, we have to be very sensitive about who they associate with and protect them, because they mimic behavior. All of that develops the psychology of our children. And if you look at some societies where they have had children who have advanced educationally, you'll see that they do a systematic approach to making sure that the psychology of their children's minds are intact. I call it success by design. We have to design the environment and that we want our children to be in, and the outcome that we want them to have. I don't, when people say that this child is a bad child, then I say, where you find a bad child, you find a delinquent parent, because a child is not born bad.
Right.
They're exposed to certain things that make them have adverse behavior. And so we learned in the nation that we have to learn the art and science of mating, but we also have to learn the art and science of developing a child with a godlike mentality.
Yes, sir. Thank you, bro.
You want to get some of that, Mark D?
Yeah, I do. Brother Henry hit it right on the head. You have to design the type of child that you want to develop. And that's one of the issues we have in the education system. We don't hold parents responsible for being valued partners. Parents drop their children off for 8 hours, and you may not see that parent. The parent has to become an invested partner in the education of their child and the development of their child. And there has to be a curriculum. And the curriculum has to start within the household. Before you even send this child to school, the child should already have a set of morals, values, and educational standards. Or you run the risk of letting your child be developed by a person who has no sympathy, no empathy, no care, concern, or love for your child. But we can get into that. I don't want to be long-winded, but Brother Henry hit it right on the point.
Let me get here. Let me get in there. Go ahead, Ahmed. I'm sorry.
Oh no, go ahead. I didn't say that.
Okay, so I really want you two to be graphic about. I want y'all to rip on this, because I want to understand exactly what's motivating y'all. What kind of children are you seeing to have y'all to make these comments? I mean, these children coming in here, are I mean, are they violent children that you're seeing? I mean,
what are you asking? What are you asking?
I mean, so yeah, go ahead.
The real deal is this: society is failing. So because society is failing, you're getting all kind of children. I deal with children at the school that I work at. They're called at-risk children, and they're from the grades of 6th grade to the 12th grade. And you have 6th graders that tell you that the number one thing that they want to do before they leave this earth is to catch a body.
To catch a body?
Yeah, to catch a body. And catch a body is to kill someone in the 6th grade. And you have to ask yourself, what in the hell is going on? Where does a 6th grader get the thought, the idea to want to kill another human being? What have you seen? What have you experienced? And the same thing goes for sex. You know, you have 6th grade girls that are already sexual active, that are already telling you the different positions and things of that nature. But you as an adult, you have to stand firm and you have to correct the foolishness that they sometimes bring from the very homes that they live in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, it comes, brother Kawi, is that we have a generation of youth who have been exposed early to stuff that you and I probably were not exposed to until our late teens or early adulthood. And so it is polluting their mind. It's creating a stinking thinking perspective where they have become killers. Some of them are killers. And that's why you're seeing young people who are going to school with guns and shooting, is because the exposure of death and murder in their environment. There has been a deterioration of the environment. I've been in this space for almost 30 years. And when I started out in youth development, young people were still saying, yes, sir, no, sir, because there was still some type of standard coming out of the household. And now you have young people who I program who use profanity regardless who around. They don't care if a senior citizen is around. They don't care if an adult is around. They don't care if a child is around. What has happened from yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir, to you mofo? What has happened, as we already know, there has been a deliberate attack on our young people by purposely exposing them to murder, death, disease on television, in movies, in music. And now the orientation of their mind is not for building, but is for destruction. And so we have young women, as Brother Mark has said, that comes and want to be sexually active. What if I'm watching P-Valley, if I'm watching Cardi V, if I'm watching all of this other stuff saying that this is the foundation of womanhood, if I'm watching other rappers who are telling me to kill, then that is my reality. They don't know anything else. The scriptures say we were born into sin and wrapped in iniquity. And our young people are wrapped in a whole lot of iniquity because that's their reality now. They don't know a time. Many of them don't even know about peace. They don't know about comfort. They don't know about serenity. They know all about, how do I survive? How do I make it to the next day? And how do I eat? And that's what we're dealing with right now. And it's a deliberate and concerted effort to stop our young people from developing. And it's getting harder and harder to pull them out of the darkness because they have not ever experienced light before.
So when you talk about youth coming into your programs like this, how you even get them in your program if they this far away from? It sounds like they lost based on what I'm hearing y'all say. How go ahead.
Sorry. They get into our program, and Brother Henry, you know, he stated it that there's an intentional plan. You know, a lot of people like to throw out conspiracy theories. This is actual facts. This is not a theory. Black people in America are being purposely dumbed down. Now, here's the caveat. Black people in America want to be dumbed down. Black people in America don't want to work hard. Black people in America don't want to strive. They want to get that bag as easily as possible. And by getting that bag, I mean getting money. They don't have time to develop children. It's a sad reality that when we have sex, we're not trying to have children. We're trying to have pleasure. And then the result of that pleasure are unwanted children. And since I don't want this child, do I really spend time to develop this child? First of all, there are things in place that shows you that it's set up to fail. If I am a woman that's getting EBT or food stamps, and my child goes to a public school system, but yet my child is failing, and the administrators of the school, they don't require parent participation. I'll give you a case in point. When I worked for Chicago Public Schools, there was a student that I would notice he would be there in the morning for breakfast. He would be there for lunch. But after lunch, he would disappear. So I would always call them home trying to find out what's going on with this particular student. It got so bad till I said, listen, when his mother comes up, because in Chicago, I don't know how it is down here in Atlanta, every so many months, to recertify for food stamps, you have to have the signature of an administrator at a Chicago public school.
Okay.
So I said, when she comes, do not sign the paperwork. Tell her I need to speak with her first. And my only thing was I was going to challenge her, listen, in order for you to keep getting certified for these food stamps, because the boy is obviously eating here, so you're not properly using the food stamps, I need you to work with me to help develop this student. Well, the administrator got on my case, told me you can't do that. You can't do that. I said, so I can't help a mother that's struggling to help develop their child. See, they don't want you to be successful. And one of the reasons why I think I'm successful is this. I mean, I've been waiting to show you all this book right here. See this book? This book is called Torchlight for America by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. This book was written in 1993, almost 30 years. But everything in that book is very relevant to what's going on now. The debauchery, the fall of society. Now all of a sudden you got black men versus black women and vice versa. Insanity. You got people telling their children, you got a child now, listen to me clearly. A child under the age of 8 can come and tell you, I no longer identify.
Hold on, Mark D.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, your screen flipped, and we missed
Everything flipped.
You missed that point you made, brother.
That's the devil. We know what that is. But you know, when you get to speaking truth, the devil got to twist it up. You know, anytime a child can come tell a parent, hey, I'm not a boy, I'm not a girl, I'm a tree. And you as the parent of this now tree has to address this tree. How insane is that? You're going to tell me that my child that I produced by God's permission can tell me how they identify, can take on different pronouns, and as a parent, I have no rights over this child that God allowed me to create with his help.
Now, Brother Kawi, you asked a very important question with all of the challenges that we are seeing with young people, what is the light at the end of the tunnel? You know, brother, I show authentic love to the participants that come in the program. As we know that particularly with boys and men of color, the words that most Black men have not heard platonically is another Black man telling them that I authentically love you as a human being. Many of them have not even heard that word from their very mothers, their fathers, or anyone in their family. And when I sit down with them, I show them that I value them, I care about them. And that is essential, is that we have to let them know that they are authentically valued and cared about, and that they are loved.
Right, right.
I don't judge them for what they are, who they are, where they come from, or what they did. I don't care. I'd have sat in the office with killers who have cried because they heard the word love for the first time in their life. And so part of the magic, because anybody can come up with a good system, a good program, good curriculum. You can come up with that. But if that curriculum doesn't have authentic love behind it, those young brothers and sisters can sense that, because now you just another person trying to throw a hustle on them for some grant money, another hustle for some recognition. But when you tell them I love you, then and they're gonna test that love. They're gonna call you at 2 o'clock in the morning and tell you that I got somebody trying to rape me. See, this is what I deal with. I've dealt with young men who told me my uncle has raped me. Young women whose uncles have raped them. Young people who have been pimped out by their families so they can get fed and been put on foot in the industrial parkway. This is what they sleeping on the trains in Marta here in Atlanta. And then they want to know if you're going to help me, not just tell me interpersonal communication skills, violence, conflict resolution. This is authentic warfare. I have had to go and get young people out of their homes and put them in a safe environment. So if love is not involved, we can't have success in our programs. And that's what's the magic. When they know that you love them. Now, the ones who are in some type of stable household and you show them love, they begin to have exponential growth very quickly. Now, 3 things that I think that has to be instilled in programming with young people, in addition to love, is education, exposure, and experiences. They have to be introduced to various schools of thoughts. Many of them have not been inspired or encouraged to read and learn. There are several books that I use with young people that I make sure that they have to learn. And then I expose them, meaning that I get out and I get people to make donations to take them on trips. We have taken young people to Germany. We have taken them across this country because they have not seen the world. They have not seen this country. Most of the young people, regardless of what city they're in, have been isolated to the geographical area that they grew up in. But when you put them on a plane for the first time, brother, it is a spiritual experience when they get exposed. And then the experiences, the exposure, the education, and the experience wrapped with love, you begin to have success. I've had a 92% success rate because of the things that I've just shared with you. And when I expose them to people, I'm talking about people who they never thought that they would get a chance to talk to because they didn't think that they were worthy to talk to them. And the words that you say and I say and other people say to them means something very important. I want to share this, and I'll let Brother Mark jump in. When I was in the 4th grade, a gentleman that is very famous came to visit our school. We looked out the window. He pulled up in a Lincoln Continental limousine. He had a bald head. That man was Mr. T. Mr. T came in. At that time, he was a bodyguard for Leon Spinks. He wasn't the pity the fool Mr. T. He was the Mr. T who was the bodyguard.
Right.
And he said something to us. He said, regardless of what you're going through, I see greatness in each and every one of you. And he said before he left what I just said. He said, I love each and every one of you all, and I expect you all to be great. Man, I'm 55 years old, and those words still echo in the subconscious and the conscious of my mind. And that's what it takes to have success with these young brothers and sisters.
All right.
Yes, sir. I see in that, because you hit on so many points, but the point that sinks in is giving them hope through the vision and the love, because the Honorable Mr. Farrakhan was stating that when a child doesn't have hope,
yes, sir,
if they don't have a vision, then they're lost. They give up. So in giving them the love and the vision, and your experience with them, that they're provided with a hope, that they're provided with the strength to carry on. I mean, is this a repetitive situation, an ongoing thing that has to take place? But do you see that they're given hope and they're able to move on in their lives?
Hope is just like taking a bath, brother. You got to give it to them every single day, because you're erasing and purging them of the stinking thinking that they have developed all of their life. You're chipping away at the bubble that they've been put in. And that's why I say it's what they read, what they see, what they hear, and who they associate with. And in addition to me talking to them, I give them stuff to read that assists what I'm saying, so that we can erase the negativity that's in their mind. So reading is very essential to the development. The first thing that the prophet heard was Iqra, read. And if we don't get them to start reading again to wash away the negativity, then they're going to still be stuck in the bubble and be victims of arrested development. So along with that hope, love, we have to continue to educate them and inundate them with a new frame of mind.
Yes, sir. And brother Mark, you mentioned the plan. Our dear brother Milabi Cleveland, brother Roosevelt, educated me, and we dealt very in depth on the prison pipeline that our youth have to deal with. What have you experienced or have any knowledge on that plan that's organized in these cities?
You got Mark D on mute.
I think he's echoing.
Let me see if I can take it off.
Okay, I'm still having these technical difficulties. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now? Yes, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go to Brother Henry. I'm gonna try to see what's going on.
We hear you, sir.
Go ahead, Brother Henry.
Well, the prisoner pipeline, brother, is a concerted effort that's really actually, we want to go back and look at 1970. From 1863 to 1965, Black people began to make tremendous amount of stride. We were exposed to various schools of thought, whether it was Noble Drew Ali, Marcus Messiah Garvey, the Honorable Elijahmuhammad, all of the, Mary Bethel, McLeod, Bethune, or any other school of thought. We start seeing progress beginning around the late 60s. In 1970, when the Vietnam War kicked in, we started seeing that our young Black men were taking off the war. When they came back, many of them, unfortunately, were addicted to heroin because of the atrocities that they saw in Vietnam War, it was hard for them to focus and think. They were victims of post-traumatic stress disorder. So they were not functional as fathers and husbands, and they could not provide. Well, then another thing kicked in by the federal government was to say that in order for the mothers to receive some type of government assistance, the father could not be in the household. And so this began to separate the young person from having a structured figure in the house. In the 80s, we began to see the proliferation of crack cocaine in our community and the introduction of what is called gangster rap music to replace conscious music. What I'm saying all of that to say is that all of that was the foundation of laying the mindset from a pipeline from school to prison. And so now these young people who didn't have the structured environment in the household and was being inundated with destruction in the streets and destruction from the music was setting them up to go to prison. And as we have been taught and have learned through various sources of research, that many of these private prisons are owned by many of the people who invest in the music industry. They have a vested interest in taking our young people out of the schools and putting them in the prison. The research also shows that a black child get harsher punitive penalties when they are disruptive in school than a white child does. And that they get harsher sentences when they go to juvenile detention court than the white child. And all of that is based off of a financial gain and the destruction of our community. And with this new attack that they call CRT, critical race theory, not being taught in school, that's really a buzzword for saying that they do not want positive images of black people being taught in the school system, and nor do we want our young people to understand the tricks that were used to convince them to be menace of society and end up in prison. And so this attack continues to go on with this pipeline of prison to give them, those who are enemy of the progress of our community, a strategic advantage in keeping our people in the condition that we're in.
Bro, Henry, we have such an ideal issue and problem. We also have an ideal enemy. When we're dealing with getting our people in the situation of mentoring, getting our people in a situation of having this passion to work with our children, you know, there's a chosen few and a selected few. We are all youth mentors, and we're trying to get brothers and sisters to join on with our programs, and it's kind of like teeth. But we don't have a system in place, a standard SOP that we can implement in our culture.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like if this is something that you're about, then that's what it is. Other than that, but it's no organized effort for us to fix the issue that we're having and constantly developing with our children and our teens. So where do we go? How do we strengthen this? How do we come up with a standard?
Well, you know, dear brother, a movement is never started with a large group of people. A movement is always started with a small group of committed individuals who duplicate themselves. And so I tell people to operate by the number 12. Each and every one of us find 12 individuals that we teach, train, and encourage to be change agents in the community, and we tell them to duplicate themselves, right?
Right.
When you look at Prophet Muhammad, He didn't have a whole lot of people that helped him to give the revelations of Allah. If you look at our beloved brother Jesus, he didn't have a whole lot of people to help him to spread the truth that he received from his Father and our Father. What it takes is us being committed, the small group of people being committed. The 80-20 rule kicks in. And that's why I tell people, stop looking for the masses to do it. 20% of the people will always do the work, and 80% of the people always gonna sit on the sidelines. We were taught this. 85% are deaf, dumb, and blind. 10% are the bloodsuckers of the poor, and 5% are the poor righteous teachers. But that 5% can create an army of 1,000. Brother, I have personally worked with over 20,000 young people over the last 30 years. And those young people have gone out and duplicated themselves. Wow. So that's what it takes, is finding a small committed group of people and encourage them to find just one other person like themselves, and you begin to have a snowball effect and begin to see a change in our community. And this is not a relay. This is a marathon. It took them almost 400 years to put us in this condition. And even though we have made strides, we may not see the finished product in our generation, but it's our job to prepare the next generation who will prepare the next generation until we reach that ultimate place of freedom, justice, and equality.
That's hope. That's hope teaching right there, bro. Come on. Yes, I like that. That's vision right there, black man. I like that. I love that. Yes, sir. But Mark, what challenges do you have in getting people to help you out in this process of delivering mentorship to these young people? Oh, you on mute?
He on mute.
Our producer, we're working with our producer. He's kind of froze. He kind of froze up, our producer.
Anybody froze?
Well, Mark, we can't hear you.
Brother Mark, can you try in that other microphone you got logged on?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What about now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, one of the challenges, I've been trying to keep it cool. One of the, these technical difficulties are really blowing my mind. If I was trying to play a game, do something silly, I wouldn't have all these issues.
Start a basketball game.
That type of crap. But I'm gonna tell you, man, my biggest impediment with mentoring the youth has been the ego of adults. Even in the school system. I got many stories because, we deal with many different children. And you get the children that are unteachable. So they say. You got the one that's just reckless and can't learn and has a disability. Brother Henry hit it square on the head early. Love. Children know when they're loved. They know when they're being told the truth. And they can tell when you phony as hell.
Okay.
I keep it 1,000 with these children. I don't keep it a buck. I keep it 1,000. I tell them straight up, man, that shit you doing, it's not slick to a can of oil. Been there, done that. And sometimes, believe it or not, you have to have these conversations with the parents. There's a lot of single parent households that are headed by women, the majority black women. Well, that's the population I come in contact with. And as a man, you have to be on guard against being played and playing with these women. You have to stand your guard on why you're there and what's the purpose of you being in this child's life as a mentor. Because sometimes these women can misconstrue the love that you have for their child as love for them.
Come on.
You have to be steadfast in what it is that you do. See, one thing that Mr. Muhammad runs into is I'm too authentic. I'm very authentic. I'm not political. It's not about the children. I'm going to tell you real quickly to get that shit out of my face. That's not why I'm here. I'm not here for the money. I'm not here. I'm trying to develop citizens. And what I mean by that is I'm trying to develop citizens. And I don't want to sound spooky and self-righteous, but I want to develop citizens to help develop a righteous world, man.
Come on, man.
I want to develop. See, I watch our youth. I watch the foolishness with the pants. I watch the foolishness with smoking weed, or I don't eat tomatoes. You know, they're fearless, but they're fearless followers. No one really wants to be a leader. Like right now, if you look around Atlanta in 92-degree weather, you're gonna see children walking around with hoodies and stocking caps on their damn heads, tied up in 92-degree weather. Because they seen another one do it, who saw another one do it, who saw another one do it, because they have no logic to what they're doing. And then it gets to the point where we're scared. I'm going to say this again.
Say it again.
Black men are scared of the children. We walk past our children. We don't correct our children. I work with children that sometimes 6'3", 250, 260 pounds. But at the end of the day, son, you are a child and I'm an adult. We're going to respect these boundaries.
Right.
And you're going to be in your role and I'm going to be in my role. See, that's why I love the school where I'm at. Because in my school, if the student gets physical after a certain amount of redirections, Mr. Muhammad is going to get physical. I'm going to give you whatever it is that you need to reshape your thinking. Hopefully, it's a book. Hopefully, we can write, put pen to paper. Hopefully, we can have dialogue, go back and forth as human beings and find out, hey, how did we get here? How is it that when I meet you at the door, I say good morning, you say fuck you? Hey, how's your day? Miss me with that shit. Huh? That lets me know that you left the house in an aberrated state. And it's my responsibility as an adult and an educator to find out what got you there, what I can do to remove that from you and help you have a better day. We have to become more involved in the lives of our children. And when I mean our children, I'm talking about Dr. Henry's daughter is my child. Right. Brother Jackie's son is my son.
That's right.
Ahmed's son is my son. Kawi's children are my children. So I'm going to handle them accordingly. I'm going to treat them with honor and respect and dignity. I'm going to say yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Not what up, bruh, my dude. Ain't none of that. You have to set the example for these children, man. They're not getting examples. Hell, if I'm smoking weed with my mama, I'm smoking weed with my daddy, I'm going to come to school and respect who? You're going to respect Mr. Muhammad because Mr. Muhammad is going to set the standard at the door. So my biggest problem is not the children. It's not. It's other adults. It's administrators. It's other men who are jealous because they don't have the God-given wherewithal to connect with these children, man. And one of the reasons why we don't connect with our children We got to get out of this funky mindset that we're better than the children.
Come on now. Come on.
That's good teaching, Mark.
On the rights.
Come on, Mark.
Rights.
Because I'm an adult, I'm better than you? Hell no,
Right.
I was just you a couple of years ago. Digging in my damn nose, smoking whatever. Now I'm grown. I don't know the challenges of trying to matriculate from being a child to a teenager to an adult. I'm gonna have to get with Dr. Henry because right now I'm trying to develop a curriculum and a pedagogy for adults to show them what it is that you need to be doing as a parent. Not a best friend, not a girlfriend, not Lulu. We dress alike. No, we're not doing that crap. That's what's wrong. I have children that are adults. Me and my children, we don't hang out. I'm their father. I'm not their homie. We're not gonna cross the line, blurred lines. That's what it is. We're gonna have to get back to the business of being men.
Right.
Men. The condition and the plight of the Black community. I gotta say the Black community because that's what I'm part of. Now I work with other ethnicities and races, but right now I'm in the Black community. And right now the Black community is failing because the Black man has failed. The Black man does not want to be the man anymore. The Black man want to wear the hoochie coochie shorts. The Black man wants to be on a podcast competing with women about women business.
Come on, man.
Instead of raising men and children. You understand?
Yes, sir.
And men have to be the envy of other men by doing good works. Not being a slick nickel and dime panty dropper. You understand? We have to get to the work of developing our communities, man. Self-improvement, the basis for community development.
Right.
I'm gonna say this because I have this opportunity. I'm not trying to convert not one single person. But in the year 2022, if you're not examining the teachings of the most honorable Elijahmuhammad and being further exalted by his number one student, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, you put yourself in a position to always fail.
That's right.
We don't have to all be Muslims. We just have to be thinkers. We have to listen. If your car uses gas, don't put diesel in it. You understand? Take what you can take from these teachings. These teachings, and I'm blessed that I've been in the nation so long that there is not a subject on this planet, in this universe, that has not been addressed by the teachings of the most honorable Elijahmuhammad as examined, duplicated, and progressed by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
That's right.
Whatever issue is going on in your home, we got the answer. Now you can take the teachings, and I know some of y'all are not gonna like this, but I gotta keep it 1,000. You can take those teachings while you chewing on that pork chop, while you smoking that blunt, and examine them, and I guarantee you, your life will change. You don't have to come in the Nation of Islam. You don't even have to be a Muslim. Just practice common sense and use what works.
That's right.
Mr. Muhammad has been very successful in Chicago public schools, Shelby County schools in Memphis, Mississippi schools, and now here in Atlanta. And the reason that Mr. Muhammad is successful is not because I'm the baddest black man on the planet. I listen to the baddest black man on the planet. I try to follow the example of the baddest black man on the planet. And I read these books and I use these teachings, but I use them in a way to help save lives because it absolutely saved a wretch like me. I come from the project. I come from an alternative school. A lot of y'all didn't know that. See, in my first year of school, I was too busy chasing girls.
Mm.
You know, I was in grammar school. You know, ain't that many girls in grammar school. I get to high school, it's a cornucopia of views. Never
What's
seen.
that?
So of course now I'm Mac Daddy Macaroni, and I
Come on,
ended up
Mac
with
Daddy
all F's. I ended up with all F's in my freshman year. I had never had an F in my life. I was devastated.
Mm.
Devastated. And I had to go to an alternative school to recover. So every child that's in an alternative school is not a bad child. Every child that can't learn in your school is not a bad child. Hell, your ass probably can't teach.
Right, right.
You probably don't know how to intertwine your heart with that child's heart so that child can receive what it is that you give it.
Come on, man.
And we also got to understand that everybody that look like us ain't for us.
That's right.
So, you know, we just got to start being real about our children. I'm telling you, when it comes to the youth, man, I'm very passionate. You know, people that hang around me, they see me, they think I'm crazy because I'll see a group of the youth pull my truck over, run over, start having a whole conversation with them. Don't know them from the paint on the wall. But what I do know is that they need some information
Come on.
in their brains
Right.
to help them to navigate and matriculate through this evil, wicked, sad ass world.
Right. Yes,
You
sir.
understand?
Yes,
So
sir.
y'all excuse me for the expletives, a little profanity. Don't judge me. Don't write no letters to Chicago because they ain't gonna do nothing but throw them in the garbage. No way. They know me better than you know me.
Hey, brother Mark, we gotta speak the language of the people, man. Everybody understands. This is it's 8:00. We're gonna take a quick commercial break, brother. Kawi is going to introduce a few items, but I want you brothers to stay on because we want to go into your websites and speak on all the products that you've built up and producing through your websites, because we want to get some major support and backing behind you so we can get the word out and the truth, like Brother Mark was just saying, to deal with the psychology to help our children and our young people to navigate in this world. So go ahead, Brother Carly.
Oh, yes, sir. So again, once again, everybody, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Job Brothers Presents Let Us Make Man. Again, we have a prison initiative out there that's really in full gear right now. And we're asking everybody to get behind that initiative. Once again, to put the Final Call newspaper behind bars for 90 days, it's $18. It's $18. And what better way to invest your money than investing in our brothers that's behind bars? And of course, $30 for 6 months, $60 for a year. But once again, we let you say, everybody, please, if you haven't did it already, if I haven't said it already, please share this program. You hear these brothers, they coming from the heart. They're doing an honorable work. This is the type of information we have to get out to everybody. So please, if you can, go to Job Brothers on YouTube. You know, share this program, subscribe to this program, the Job Brothers, and hit the bell so you can get upcoming programs. Now, I want y'all, look, my brother Ahmed. His brother is now, you know, I used to say he's a world traveler. This brother's been all over the place. Oh, I'm sorry, jobviewers.com. Of course, we don't have, I'm sorry about that. We don't have, you know, we're trying to put this Final Call newspaper to 1,000 people behind bars. Now Ahmed said he may know 1,000, but I don't. So we ask everybody, if you know of anybody that's incarcerated that would like to get a subscription of the Final Call newspaper, send that information to our email address, jockbrothersviewers@gmail.com. Again, jockbrothersviewers@gmail.com. Of course, we need their name, inmate number, the address. That's a good start for us. And if you don't have the rest, we'll get the rest. All right. Of course, like again, Ahmed, that's our brother. He's stepping out there on faith. He's out there. He's an author now. He's wrote this book right here, Below the Bullies. And we got more books coming. We want you to support this black man that's out here writing books that's designed to reach our children, to help them to be friends of another and not enemies of another. The enemy is at them, but we got brothers like Ahmed that's speaking the language of the youth so they can be friends. Again, you can go to you can get this book. You can go to www.bipublishing.com. That information is at the bottom of the screen.
And Amazon. And
it's on Amazon.
Right.
So support our brother in his endeavors. Again, this is the first of, it better be many books covering many subjects. And so this is how we get it going. And of course, I am your local realtor. I like to be your realtor. Now, as you can see, I got my original or my first name up there, but my God name is Brother Kyle Wheat. And you can see my number right here at the bottom, 404-671-5681. Of course, I deal with sellers. I deal with buyers. I deal with investment properties. I deal with land. Call me. Let me fulfill your real estate needs. Last but not least, we got our brother Jackie Muhammad, top soldier right here, has a trucking company called Supreme Waste Removal. If you have any type of demolition going on, what else, brother Jackie? He covers a lot of areas, but he got 20 dumpsters ready to serve you. So support this black man in his endeavors. I mean, there's a lot of dump truck companies out there, but you got to support your brother before you support another. You just got to. I got that from Brother Nuri. And then let's get we got some websites up here. I want you to cover. This website belongs to which one of you brothers?
It's my website there, brother. This is King Henry's Turkey Legs. I want you all to check us out at www.kinghenryturkeylegs. We are beginning to have our woke up customers in September at the new Black Wall Street at 8109 Mall Parkway in Stonecrest, Georgia. But you can also reach our website and we provide catering for you.
Praise be to Allah. Let me get to the next. Do y'all see that one? I guess you don't. Let me get back at it. I guess you don't see that one. Let me go to the next one. And whoever is responsible for this, speak on it, please.
And this is also my business. This is the Tree of Knowledge Bookstore at the same location, 8109 Mall Parkway, the new Black Wall Street. You can go to treeofknowledgebookstore.com, come into our bookstore. We also carry Brother Ahmed's book, Bilal, and we carry other publications in there. So you can come in and sit down at the Tree of Knowledge and get some books to take back home to your family and increase your knowledge.
Yes, sir. Don't leave that website yet, Brother Kawi. Scroll down a little bit. Well, first of all, go back up, because I wanted to make mention of Brother Dr. Henry's book, Who Moved My Nuts? And he's an author. And now if you scroll down a little more to the next, he has classes on how to publish books. So anyone, could you speak on that, Brother Henry?
Yes, sir. So beginning in August, we're going to show individuals, we're going to provide a workshop where you can learn the structure of writing your book, and then we will provide consulting opportunity for you to. We'll walk you through your whole process to finish your book from beginning to end. And I share with people all the time, books are a great source of additional revenue, but it's also a part of your legacy. All of your experiences, your exposure and education, you can put it in a book and leave it for your children's children to be able to examine long after you're gone.
Praise be to Allah.
Praise be
So
to
anybody
Allah.
interested in writing a book, please visit brother at the mall. That's also at the mall as well, right? The address.
Yes, sir.
Store,
I'm missing one, brother Ahmed.
the Black Wall Street Mall.
I'm missing one, brother Ahmed. You want to give me a second to try to pull that up?
That's okay.
All right, let me
Oh, is it coming up now?
I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to get my brother Let Us Make Man Foundation. Give me just a moment. If it fell off.
While you're getting that, I'm just going to show this. Brother Mark, could you give us an intro on that, please, before he pulls up the screen?
That's the website, www.longfoundation.com. You go on that website, you see the services that we can provide, our mentoring services, and we mentor both females and males. We do conflict resolution, we do restorative justice, restorative practices. We even have trauma-informed care, because as Black people, we are under a lot of trauma and don't realize how or why we act the way we do.
Praise be to Allah. Was your pull up, Chloe?
That's the same thing I got. That's the same thing I got. You want to?
I still wanted you to pull up because I just wanted to.
Oh yes, sir.
Wanted them to look at it.
Yeah, come right here, brother. I'm sorry.
That's fine. Take your time. Brother Henry, I also wanted you to speak on after he shows this website. I wanted you to speak on what other services you provide with your mentorship.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, brother. Brother Mark, could you just give a little extra spin on that website? Could you click on the menu and go on to one or two of this? Yeah, right there, right. Go ahead, brother Mark.
Yeah, that gives you an introduction of the Let Us Make Man Foundation. And as you progress through the website, you will see that the staff that and the team that I put together comes from all walks of life. My son, who graduated from the University of Arkansas, Pine Bluff, he helps our children in the agriculture department. We want to develop future farmers. We want to make sure that we're self-sustainable. I also have a retired vet who does ACT and SAT prep. We have a whole, we just have people from all walks of life to help our children.
Hit the staff, Carly. Hit the staff. Right.
Right there, our staff, our team.
Our team, yeah. Is your son on that?
Yes, if you just scroll down, of course, that's me, the lead facilitator. Tells you what I've been trained in, my different skill sets. You can keep going down.
Okay.
Going down. Now, stop right there. I have Miss Jasper. Miss Jasper is a counselor. She's a mental health professional. She's a school counselor. She does trauma. She does one-on-one sessions. She does family sessions. Anything that you need, we have it. Keep scrolling.
Is everything done in person, or do you do some of the work virtual?
In person and virtual.
Okay.
Now, also, I have a former law enforcement officer there as well that teaches you how to navigate dealing with law enforcement, how to deal with irregular stops, how to deal when you feel that you're being profiled. These things we teach our children on a day-to-day basis, how to stay calm, how not to get out of your body, things of that nature.
Right. Yes, sir. Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro, Carly.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, brother. So Henry, right.
Yes, during our discussion, Brother Mark mentioned something very essential about we have to begin to develop the parents. And so I provide services with my life coaching for adults and youth. You know, a football player has a football coach, a basketball player has a basketball coach. But very few of us understand the importance of having a life coach that holds us accountable for the goals that we established. And so I hold people accountable. I make sure that they go from good to great and from great to outstanding and scale themselves to the next level. And so I provide the life coaching services for adults as well as youth. And my company also provides professional and personal development workshops. So we can come to your respective organizations or to your schools or to your companies, and we can develop your team to have outstanding performance.
Praise be to Allah. Praise be to Allah. I just wanted to really touch on one last thing before we get into our closing remarks. These new gun laws, man, whoo, and the marijuana laws, but specifically these new gun laws, we're already carrying around weapons, and there's certain situations where our youth are running into situations where we have other races that are using weapons against them, but the majority of times that when we have weapons, we're using it on each other in our own communities. But what do you brothers have to say on these new gun laws in Georgia and all these different states where you just have the right to carry now, like anybody can carry?
Well, I think it's a very dangerous combination of young people who are using recreational drugs and also carrying weapons, as well as adults. There's 11,000 people last year in the state of Georgia who was denied the opportunity to get a gun permit because of their psychological condition or their previous criminal background. Now, with the new law in Georgia as of July the 1st, they will not be checking for your psychological condition or your previous criminal behavior and putting guns out on the street. What does that mean is that we have to naturally assume that everyone out there is carrying a gun. And because most of our young people and adults have not been taught interpersonal communication skills, violence, conflict resolution, and critical thinking skills, and they lack emotional intelligence.
Right.
They go from 0 to 10 very quickly, not thinking about what would be the consequence of me even brandishing a gun. It's a setup to fill the prisons back up again. I want to add this, Brother Ahmed. The private prisons were going to take the state of Georgia to court for not keeping the prisons filled at the level that they agreed to in the contracts.
Wow.
President Biden came in and stopped private prisons from receiving federal money, but they're now finding a way to get the dollars again where they get paid per diem, which is for every bed they fill, they get so much money. Well, this gun law is going to assist the state of Georgia in filling those beds because there will be an increase in criminal behavior from individuals brandishing a gun, using a weapon, and even murdering people. So we're about to see a high rate of incarceration in the state of Georgia like we had never seen before as a result of these gun laws. And unfortunately, many of our youth are going to be a victim because Georgia has a law that came in effect in 1994. There are certain crimes that you do that automatically get you 10 years in prison. The judge can't even do anything about reducing your sentencing, and using a gun in the commission of a crime is one of those crimes that automatically get you 10 years in prison. So we're about to see a lot of young people who are using a gun while committing a crime who will be locked up automatically beginning at the age of 14, because that's when the law allows them to put them in jail, in prison for 10 years.
Yes, sir.
I have a question, man. This is I want to digress a little bit.
Wait, Carl, let's see if Brother Mark had just something to say about
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead, Brother Mark. I'm sorry.
Well, again, we have to understand what we're dealing with. Now, one of the reasons why it's so appealing to Black youth, these guns and the use of gun and violence, is because we don't properly educate our children on guns. We don't take them to go to a gun instructor. Their knowledge of guns comes from Grand Theft Auto and Billy Bob on the block.
Come on, Mark.
See, you got to take time and teach your children. You know, when we were little, our parents used to tell us, man, don't touch that stove. That fire is hot.
Yes, sir.
And it's got to be the same thing with this gun. Hey, man, this is not a toy. This is a tool. This is a tool, and this is what the intention of this tool is. But if I'm playing Grand Theft Auto all day, Warzone, which I play, but I'm an adult, you know, and we play these games and we go out here and we think it's bang, bang, pop, pop. Play around, stick around. You know, since I've been here, I think the juvenile justice system is a joke here. I've dealt with many of my students in the court system. There's many of them that I've written letters for. There's many of them that I won't write letters for. They don't empower the probation or the parole officers. They get 50 taps on the hand so that by the time that they're an adult, their rap sheet is already established. Like Brother Henry said, there are 10-year laws here. There are laws that will get these children smashed before they're 24 years old. But again, we have to understand that these are our children. We're responsible for these children. We're responsible for developing the type of citizens that we want. And again, it's back on you, Black man. Stand up, accept your own, and be yourself. Nobody said you have to be a Muslim. But come on home, unite, and do for self, man. Listen, I'm not in no way disillusioned about the aim and goal of this system. But since I've been given an avenue, I'm going to do everything in my power to circumvent this system by helping out one baby at a time. I'm not breaking the law. I'm just doing what I do.
Yes, sir.
And we have to teach our children when the game is being played on them. And the game is being played.
Yes, sir. Thank you, bro. Bro, Carl,
Yes, sir.
We need to close, but go ahead. You got something real quick.
I just real quick, if y'all can answer it in as quick as possible with a little bit of behind that, that'll be great. The children that come into y'all programs, I'm assuming these are single parent. These children are the result of being a single parent without fathers in the household. So the majority of them have both parents. Are these children that's coming to your program? Are they have just been raised by single mothers and just being terribly influenced? What do you say like like the results of that?
Well, very quickly, I'm getting a mixed group of children coming to me. I'm getting some of them who have both parents in the household, but the parents can't make that connection with this new generation. They don't know how to communicate with them, right? They're stuck under an old mindset of how to parent with a new generation. And then, of course, I'm getting single moms who are just psychologically and spiritually exhausted. They're not bad mothers, but they understand that they have reached a certain point where their skill set stop and they're looking for somebody else to help their child to develop.
Right. Also, bro, but Doc, that it takes a two-family household. Because at some point, the young men have to have a father in their life. I'm just saying that's
well, if the father's not there, it takes a strong male mentoring figure.
Right.
It takes the village. In Africa, the greatest title outside of father is uncle.
Right.
Where we are their uncles, and we have to fill that void where the father is not there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Again, it's back on again as black men. We have to pick up the slack. You know, all these children are my children when they come into the building. From 8 o'clock to the time that they're released, I'm the father over the house. And the reason why I say I'm the father over the house is because I'm responsible. As the behavior specialist, climate manager, I'm responsible for the safety and security of every individual in that building. So I set a standard. If I'm going to be responsible, then you're going to have to learn how to take instructions and follow instructions. Because in the case of an active shooter, I'm the one that has to engage that active shooter. Now, you want me to put my life on the line for your knucklehead butt that don't want to follow instructions? You want me to save your child who you send to school and tell them to fuck Mr. Muhammad? See, it's a give and take. We have to work, like he said, as a village. But again, the black man has to take his rightful place as the leader and stand up and be a man, Chief. Stop falling victim to the fact that they said, oh, what's the word? Toxic masculinity. I don't give two damns about toxic masculinity. I'm a man. I didn't make myself. God chose for me to be a man, and that's what I'm going to be, a man. I'm not going to be a tyrant. I'm not going to be an oppressor, but I'm damn sure going to be a man. And I'm going to stand 10 toes down as a man and teach my children how to act like children in the environment that I'm in control of.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And but Doc, I didn't want to put that on the sisters, because there's some men who are single family, run a single family household, and they need women. I had my sons for quite a while raising them, and I know there wasn't too much of soft side to me. they wasn't getting some kind of nurturing from me, because it ain't there right now. They needed their mother. You on mute, bro.
You on mute, bro, Doc. You on mute, Doc.
Mute.
It's essential, Brother Ahmed, that when we have mentoring programs for young men, we must have women on the staff, that's correct, on the team, so there is a balance, that they can go and talk to somebody that's going to give them a little bit more compassion. And in my years as an executive and working with the state, I always made sure there was a balance of strong men and strong women when it came to mentoring young men.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, bro. Okay, we got closing remarks. It's 8:36. We went over a little bit, but praise be to Allah. Well, we're trying to get this information out so we can save one. If we can save one, we've done our job.
That's right.
Praise be to Allah. Brother Doc, you had any closing remarks?
No, I would just like to applaud you, brothers, for your willingness to get information out to your viewing audience. And I'd like to encourage your viewing audience to go out there and find 4 or 5 young people that you're going to mentor for the next 12 months. And you can reach out to myself, and they have the contacts on here, and I'll give you whatever support I can give you in structuring that mentoring relationship. And I believe that we can change the narrative in our community if we are committed.
That's right.
Praise be to Allah. Brother Mark.
Yes. First of all, I want to thank you all for the opportunity. You all have a very good show. I know you never heard me say it, but I watch this show. I usually watch it from different devices so that you don't know it's me. The Let Us Make Man Foundation, we are willing to collaborate with any organization We're not too prideful. We'll work with anybody. All we want to do is help develop our youth. And if you are a grant writer, you know how to get some money for us. Please help me out. I've always everything that the Lum Foundation does comes out of my pocket. Comes out of my pocket. I rarely get donations. I don't know why. Maybe it's me, but again, you know, I'm gonna take care of these babies with the pennies, the nickels, the dimes. I'm gonna take care of them.
That's right, brother. Come on, bro.
By hook or by crook. But
That's right.
You know, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. If maybe if you know any grant writers, Dr. Henry, send them my way. I ain't got no money. Write their fee into the grant. It's cool.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, bro. But Jackie.
Yes, sir. I just want to say I applaud both of you with the work you're doing. And definitely we need examples, fathers, but most importantly, uncles. Uncles is in our teachings from the beginning.
Yes, sir.
Yaqub was speaking to his uncle. One came to save his uncle. And
right.
I really applaud everything you both said. I'm really shocked that Mark D though. I mean, Mark D is definitely doing a great work. A polished brother who me and him interact very frequently. But definitely great work, brother Mark. Proud of you, bro. Brother Henry, I haven't met you yet, but definitely I'm proud of your work. And you are two honorable brothers, but definitely keep up the good work. And speaking with Brother Ahmed, it looks like we're gonna be making headways towards you all.
Yes,
And
sir.
hopefully you can all come and speak to the junior fruit of Islam
Yes, sir.
that that we have with
Let me know.
and then yes, sir, definitely gonna let you know, brother. And we want to tie that in, brothers, and like you say, make honorable citizens and make examples that know how to go out and duplicate themselves. Man, that's a great work, brothers. I'm proud of both of you, man. Good job. May Allah bless both of you with
Yes,
success,
sir.
which He will. You're doing His work. You're doing His work. So may Allah bless both of you.
Yes,
Assalamu
yes,
alaikum.
sir. Thank you, bro, Jackie. But Kawi, I'm gonna say your part, all right? No, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Dr. Henry, brother Mark, y'all doing a big work, brother. Y'all are literally saving lives. Y'all are literally, making our future a better future. And I just thank Allah for you, brothers. And I just ask Allah, I pray Allah that He continue to bless you with all that you need to be successful and to keep the type of success that you have. You're very passionate about what you're doing, brother. Dr. Carter, man, you really speak well, and you have these like little sayings that stick with you, and I can see why you may get the success rate that you get, and they resonate, and of course, Mark D, man, like I say, when we met, man, you called me comedian and stuff, man. I need to, you got this tough image ring, but I understand why you tough, man. You dealing with our future, brother, and they got to believe you when you talk to them, and so I get it, and I salute you, brothers. Like Brother Jackie said, y'all are honorable brothers, and I just like I say, I look forward to working with y'all in the future. We're youth mentors, and I mean, I'm just gonna let you sit back and just learn from you myself, so that I can be a better example to youth that I run into, especially my son is 16 and impressionable. And like Ahmed said, man, all I could give them is that grunge, but they do need that nurturing. And I need to do better about trying to pick somebody around my son that can give him that sense of mother. Thank you, brothers. Keep doing what you're doing. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, brothers.
Praise be to Allah. Again, I'd like to thank both of you for joining us and getting this timely message out. It's always on time. We're always on time. I always grew up with the message, each one teach one. And I know changing the world, it takes us to build a village. We need each other and saving one life after another. I mean, I grew up around a lot of young brothers who, man, was from 0 to 10, and you never knew what level somebody was going to be on. You never. It was. I watched a lot of deaths. I watched a lot of fights, and I watched a lot of teen pregnancies, 13, 12. I mean, I saw a lot, and I always was intrigued to learn the psyche of our youth. As I was a youth, because I was still trying to learn. I was still trying to learn myself. And that's what developed my passion, because I always wanted to be able to save one. I always wanted to see a young man go from no knowledge to then speaking knowledge. And wow, you know, it's almost like Allah touched their spirit, or the knowledge of God entered their minds and their hearts. So you brothers are doing a fabulous job, and we definitely want to commend you and give you flowers while you live, and really inspire our viewing audience and all those to back and support you. There's so many opportunities that you brothers are opening, so many doors, and we have to promote our brothers, our uncles. We have to promote you in what you do. And I wanted to say to our listening audience, what are you doing to produce young men and women who can change the condition of this world and their lives? It's just a question. And as we produce another good show, as Brother Jackie would say, if he had one last thing to say.
Oh, we're going to change it up. It's keep it Messiah. We're going to keep it Messiah.
Yes, sir.
That's what I'm talking about.